Tonight, the image is still coming in after that strong earthquake hit Southern California.
California is rocked again. Earthquake rattles the coast. Scientists watch the sea. The ground did not roar, it shuddered. Just after the quiet rhythm of an ordinary coastal day, California's restless crust shifted once again. A magnitude 4.4 earthquake snapped through the region, sending a low, rolling vibration across hills, highways, and, most critically, the unstable cliffs lining the Pacific Ocean. It was not the kind of quake that topples cities, but it was the kind that makes scientists stop typing and look at the sea. A fault awakens. Seismographs lit up almost instantly. The rupture was shallow, dangerously so, allowing the energy to punch upward rather than dissipate harmlessly underground. Residents reported sharp jolts, rattling windows, and a brief but unmistakable sense that the ground had slipped sideways beneath their feet. Along the coast, the timing could not have been worse. For weeks, California's cliffs have been under stress. Saturated soils, deep fractures creeping inland, repeated wave impacts pounding the rock base, subtle but accelerating ground deformation. The earthquake arrived like a final shove.
When land shakes, the ocean listens. Within minutes of the shaking, observers along the coast noticed unusual wave behavior. Not towering tsunami walls, not yet, but irregular surges, waves arriving out of rhythm, colliding with cliff faces harder than expected for the prevailing weather conditions. To the untrained eye, it looked like nothing more than rough surf. To geophysicists, it looked like a warning whisper. Because earthquakes don't need to be massive to cause a tsunami, they only need to move material into the sea. And California's cliffs are already halfway there. The hidden threat: cliff collapse. The real danger does not come from the earthquake alone. It comes from what the earthquake destabilizes. High-resolution satellite data and coastal monitoring stations have shown that entire sections of California's coastal bluffs are fractured, some cracked meters deep. These cliffs are not solid walls. They are layered, weakened structures, carved by erosion and hollowed by time. When an earthquake shakes them, gravity takes over. If a large mass of rock, soil, or collapsed roadway were to suddenly slide into the Pacific Ocean, the result could be a localized tsunami, a fast-moving surge of water generated not by fault rupture under the sea, but by displacement from above.
This type of tsunami is especially dangerous because it can form within seconds, it can strike nearby shorelines without warning, it does not require a large earthquake, it often bypasses traditional tsunami alert thresholds. Scientists have seen this before, in Alaska, Norway, Japan, and they know how quickly it can unfold. A narrow margin of safety. The 4.4 magnitude quake itself is not enough to generate a classic ocean-wide tsunami. Officials know this, but they also know something else. California's coast is no longer in a stable state. Cracks already slice through cliff-top roads. Guardrails tilt seaward. Homes sit uncomfortably close to newly formed fissures. The earthquake acted like a stress test, and the coast did not pass quietly. Seismologists are now scrutinizing. ground acceleration data near the cliffs, micro landslide signals, subtle sea level anomalies detected by coastal sensors, aftershock patterns that may indicate ongoing movement. Every dataset tells part of the story. Together, they suggest a coastline on edge.
The Pacific waits. The ocean appears calm under the fading light. Waves roll in, indifferent, ancient. But beneath the surface, pressure systems, displaced sediments, and altered coastlines hold memory of every collapse that came before. The earthquake has passed. The cliffs are still standing. For now, California has been rocked again, not violently, but meaningfully. The kind of shake that doesn't make headlines for destruction, yet leaves scientists uneasy long after the ground stills. Because along this coast, the most dangerous waves are often born in silence. And the sea is watching what the land will do next.
Minutes matter. One of the most chilling aspects of a cliff collapse tsunami is timing. If a large landslide plunges into the ocean, waves could reach nearby beaches in 2 to 5 minutes. There may be no sirens, no alerts, no second chances. The first sign would be the ocean itself, suddenly pulling back or rushing forward with unnatural force. Emergency planners call these events near-field tsunamis. Scientists call them brutally efficient. Aftershocks and unanswered questions. As night approaches, the story is not over. Aftershocks, smaller, quieter, but persistent, could continue to loosen cliff faces already weakened by the initial quake. Each tremor is a coin flip. Nothing happens, or something gives way. Geologists are particularly concerned about overhanging cliff sections, areas where erosion has undercut the base, locations where cracks have widened since last month, coastal roads built directly atop unstable strata. The question now is not if the coast will change, but how suddenly.